Now, nurses and ambulance workers begin their strike in parts of England as the biggest round of NHS walkouts begins. This marks the start of a series of walkouts by the NHS staff in England. According to the NHS officials, this is the biggest round of industrial action in the history of the state-run health service. Earlier, a number of unions suspended strike action in Wales. Meanwhile, the General Secretary of the Royal College of Nurses, Pat Cullen, has urged Prime Minister Rishi Sunak to make a new pay offer and bring the industrial action to an end. Other union chiefs say they had no choice but to strike, as there had been no meaningful dialogue for a month between the unions and the government. According to the UK government, the pay demands are unaffordable and would spike inflation. Health Secretary Steve Barclay warned the walkouts this week would have an impact on patients and cause delays.
This isn't what nurses do. Nurses are notoriously bad at standing up for themselves, and I think it's just driven to crunch point, really, straw that broke the camel's back at this point.
Just listen. They're still not listening. They're still saying, the NHS doesn't have the money to pay. Of course the NHS doesn't have the money. That's why we're here. We're here for everyone. The government needs to listen and discuss pay rather than just saying the NHS doesn't have money.
Last week, the UK also witnessed the biggest teacher strike in recent times. The action affected 23,000 schools in England and Wales. According to the union chief, the UK government had been unwilling to seriously engage with the causes of strike action. The strike had a significant impact on more than 4 million students in England and Wales. Several unions say that there is no sign of a breakthrough in pay talks and have pledged more action in the coming weeks. More strikes are planned throughout the month of February, and it is expected that nurses will again join the demonstrations.
Rishi Sunak, hear us say, we need you to raise our pay 10%.
Now, for more on this, our correspondent Alex Isaac is joining us live from London. Hello to you, Alex. Now, nurses and ambulance workers are set to strike in parts of England as the biggest round of NHS walkouts starts. What are the latest details that you have for us?
Absolutely. So today we have seen some of this picket. So about 40,000 from the RCN Royal College of Nursing. Union nurses are on strike, and we're at a small picket line here, but there are picket lines throughout England, and ambulance workers as well. So that will be the three unions, which are GMB, Unite and RCN, have all joined to push forward these strikes today. Now, we do have a strike potentially tomorrow, and that's a two-day strike. However, Pat Cullen, who is the coordinator for RCN, has said that she is willing to negotiate now with the government so that the strikes tomorrow don't happen. Although it's unlikely that that is going to be the way forward for the government, who have said since the beginning that they have no money, because it's not just about one individual union, it's about all of the public sectors that are striking because they're looking for more pay. Currently, the RCN is looking for an 18.4% pay rise in line with inflation. However, the government has only offered 4%, and they say that is not good enough. But I am hearing that it is likely they will come down from that high amount. At the moment, Wales and Scotland aren't striking, the nurses there. That's because they have negotiated some extra pay. We don't have those exact details. What we do know is that it's not completely off the table for striking in both Wales and Scotland either. It's just that the unions will discuss it and take it to their members and see if they do want to strike going forward. Today we are going to see a lot of disruption within hospitals throughout England, and tomorrow it looks like it may well be another nurses' strike if the government don't come to the table and start talking about pay.
Alex, and of course, Prime Minister Rishi Sunak being urged to make a new pay offer and bring this industrial action to an end. What are you hearing on when this may happen?
Well, honestly, there is no rumblings that it's going to likely to be happening anytime soon. It seems that Rishi Sunak and the Tory government is quite steadfast in the fact that they believe that if they give more to any of the unions, then they'll have to give out to other unions too, and therefore it will put the burden on the rest of the tax-paying public. And they say that they're not willing to do that. Interestingly enough, though, the opposition in Keir Starmer said that they should be discussing a negotiation with pay, but they also have said that they wouldn't be paying the money that all of the public sectors are looking to get. We do have huge inflation at the moment, and although it's slowly coming down, the financial situation of the UK isn't doing very well. We are constantly seeing these fiscal reports that show that we are likely to hit another recession, and unfortunately the cost of living is crazy high at the moment. So asking for these pay rises across all the public sectors, it doesn't look like that is going to be happening. I'm not really hearing that that's the kind of negotiation that's going forward, but we do understand that the government is looking to try and help in other ways. They want to try and improve working conditions throughout all of the sectors, and that includes that they say trying to put more beds in for hospitals. They want to try and cut down waiting lists, but it all comes down to whether or not there is staff there. We do know that the junior doctors are currently balloting on whether they should strike or not, and obviously this industrial action is going on within ambulance workers, paramedics, midwives, physiotherapists and nurses too. So it's a case of that is going to continue to go on, and whether or not it's going to be able to fix it by adding more beds and adding more hospitals, that just seems like a sticking plaster at the moment, and it's unlikely that we're going to see much movement going forward.
Absolutely. Alex, thank you very much for bringing us all the latest coming out of London. WION, now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the news on the move.